Hello everybody, Shauna L. Francis here. Today is February 7th, 2023. Thanks so much for joining me for today's channeling with the Queen Elizabeth. I want to just say right off the bat, guys, that this is pretty much a continuation of what we were talking about yesterday. It's disturbing, it's graphic, it's detailed. So if you're not in the right space for this kind of a conversation, you're welcome to come back later or skip it altogether. I think most people are getting the gist here of what's been going on, and it's horrifying. Really hard to channel it, really hard to go about my day trying to act normal, having heard this information directly from Queen Elizabeth. It's really been a tough day today for me, and I'm tired. I went back to my dad's old house and went through more stuff. We're talking about pictures and his yearbooks and very personal things, and so really, really emotional anyway, and just busy. So I'm tired. I'm tired, and this information's really tough. And this is only 1,000 words that were exchanged today with the Queen, but it took a full 2 hours to get through it. So, and I would say much of it, they are really working with my energy and getting me to this place where I can bring this through clearly. Just feeling very deep into this really quite beautiful, loving, supportive energy. I guess really to help support me as I get through this information. Hopefully that energy comes through as I read through the words that were spoken today, and you can feel that and tap into that. I asked Melchizedek tonight after kind of going back through the transcript, why do we need to have so many details around what's been going on? And they said that, this is a necessary part of the disclosure. This level of detail takes it out of kind of the etheric and conceptual and brings it down to the truth of what's been really going on. So there you have it, team. I mean, we're going through an incredible passage, as the Queen talks about tonight. And it is really, as they've been warning for months now, this is really difficult information. It's hard to hear this. It's hard to know it. These are things I didn't really want to hear or know. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started here with what the Queen had to say today. Thanks everybody for your beautiful supportive comments. I love you all so much. You mean everything to me. All right, so I heard, Shauna, I'm ready. And I said, wonderful, Elizabeth. I said, that was a tough channeling yesterday. How are you? And she said, I'm well, thank you. With each passing day, my resolve grows stronger, she said. Seeing the path through this information a bit more clearly than I did 2 weeks ago in linear human time. That's good news. I said, glad to hear that, Elizabeth. I said, wherever you'd like to start, I'm ready to go. And she said, thank you, Shauna. We will start again today, picking up where we left off yesterday. I said, sounds good. She said here, the beautiful children. How do we stand up to a regime such as this? How do we disarm and disable all that they are doing to wreak havoc on this plane of existence? She said here, we have our thrusters on, and now it's a matter of choosing the best trajectory to get us to our end goal. While the plan is divine, thorough, and solid, the bumps and bruises will be plentiful. As I mentioned before, they are playing for keeps, Shauna. She said here, we will be naming names, but not quite yet. Our support team will help guide you to the resources that will enable these names to come to the surface. Please be aware of this, Shauna. Melchizedek, I believe it was Melchizedek, a couple months ago said we will be naming names. We're going to be getting specific here, and today is no exception. We're very specific here with this channeling. We will be naming names, but not quite yet. Okay. I said, okay, I will. I'll be ready and watching for that. Man, and then my energy went just a big deep dive. and just really, and what that feels like is kind of just disengaging from my body and just really being in this neutral space, but feeling very much as an energetic body. I'm really not feeling super physical at that point. It's just light and energy. Sorry, that's not a very good explanation. I'm tired. She said here, Shauna, we hang on by but a thread here. And then she paused and I said, what do you mean by this, Elizabeth? She said, our delicate grasp of this seeming reality, our capacity to get a glimpse into the true nature of existence, the power of thought, the power of intent. As humans, we see such a tiny fraction of all the possibilities, and it's that way on purpose. However, she said, for us, we are breaking through these constructs, these paradigms, these belief systems, so that we may help this plane of existence make a massive leap in consciousness. Trying to do this will require a great deal of faith on your part, Shauna, and mine as well, as we maneuver this construct, this reality that we are sharing together in this moment. She said, we are creating a bridge here. It's a delicate bridge, Shauna. We're creating a bridge here. In the moment, it was making sense when I was in that space, in that level of consciousness. She said, this is why an open heart is just so critical to this process. Our beautiful hearts where the truth of who and what we are is the closest to our knowing. Shauna, as this multidimensional soul, this aspect of you, the one I'm speaking to now, stands in the middle of this bridge. And it's from this vantage point where there's so much you can access, many, many worlds at your fingertips, so much knowledge, so much light. Yeah, I was there. I was feeling it, not really sure what to do about, how to access those worlds. But in that moment, as those words came through, when I was in that state of consciousness, I really felt it and I believed it. She said here, the information that is shared with you, Shauna, from the other side of the veil, seeds the collective consciousness here on earth. This is very powerful. This information is shared with great care. And then there was another really big pause here. The information that's coming through is shared with great care. Please remember this, guys, as we tend to get a little impatient with how the information's coming through, myself included. Really trusting that this is coming out just how it's supposed to at the right time, at the right level. And then she said, the blood rituals. And there was another really long pause. So in my mind, I'm kind of waiting for her to find the nerve to continue speaking about these things that are really difficult for her. So I really try to be patient. And I was seeing some pretty gross things in my mind's eye. Not sure if, I'm not 100% sure if it was something that they were feeding me in terms of helping me understand what was going on, or if that was my imagination running wild, but disturbing stuff. And she said here, after about 15 minutes probably, we are setting out to bring to light these atrocities so that the negative reptilians who keep such secrets and do such horrifying acts can no longer be protected by the dark. We bring real light to the situation, exposure out of the darkest depths of our collective experience, up into the light to be seen, to be known, to be understood, and to be reconciled. Yeah, and it's a good reminder, why are we talking about all this? This is why it's important. It's critical. And again, guys, this gets really graphic right at this point. And if you're not feeling it, you could probably turn off right here and you get the gist of what's going on. She said, Shauna, every last drop of blood is removed from the poor victim. This blood removal happens mostly while the victim is still alive. You can only imagine the terror, and this, of course, is what the negative reptilians want. Extreme terror. She said here, Shauna, they lay the children down and withdraw the blood from their jugular. While this is taking place, they are feeding off of their fear energy coming from the victim until their body dies. She said here, the blood is captured and it is drank immediately for the fullest effect. So this is where the ADR stuff comes into play, guys. Words are spoken, she said, rites said aloud. There may be 3, 4, or 5 people as part of this act. All the while, all of this feeding into the hive mind, straight up to the negative reptilian leadership energetically beyond time and space, giving them the luge that they lust after. She said here, the victim's body is then prepared for consumption. Only certain parts of the body are consumed, and these parts are eaten raw. One at a time, ceremoniously, the liver, various other body organs, the heart. What remains of the body, she said, is incinerated. Those who are closest in terms of this process are deeply steeped in the hive mind. Anyone else who may come into contact with this process is manipulated through the mind. And there was another pause, and I said, Elizabeth, can I ask another question, please? She said, sure. I said here, I imagine it's not hard with the mind control they're capable of, but where are they getting the children of today? How often is this happening? If you're able to answer this, thank you. She said, Shauna, the children come from places like orphanages, the streets, places where the children are not likely to be missed should they disappear, or at least won't raise much concern if they go missing. She said here, these rituals occur on average once every 4 to 6 weeks in terms of the monarchy. And I said, that's a lot of children. She said, yes, it is, Shauna. I said, how very, very awful, how very sad. And she said, yes, Shauna. I said, Elizabeth, is there anything else you want to talk about today? And she said, may God accompany all of us as we make our way through this passage. This is all for today, Shauna. I said, okay, thank you so much. I don't know anything about like the satanic ritual abuse that's being reported. I think a lot of folks here in our Army of Light boots on the ground do seem to have some experience here. SRA, satanic ritual abuse. She's not mentioning satanic rituals, but it does seem like these are probably one and the same. I don't know, I'm guessing. And you know, this kind of thing's been going on a very long time. So really awful, guys, really tough, really awful. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really just needing to trust right now that this is the level of information that's needed at this moment. Okay, team, I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I love you guys so much. Thanks again for everything. And I do plan to see you all tomorrow.